हरे कृष्णा। अभी प्रभु जी का प्रवचन अंग्रेजी में होगा। जिन भक्तों को हिंदी में अनुवाद सुनना हो कृपया 89 FM पर सुन सकते हैं या ऑनलाइन यूट्यूब पर भी सुन सकते हैं। इस्कॉन चौपाटी हिंदी यूट्यूब का चैनल का नाम है। Devotees are requested to kindly switch off the cell phones or put it on a silent mode. Hare Krishna.
जयो राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जयो राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदनंदन ब्रज जनरंजना यशोदनंदन ब्रज जनरंजना यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना तीरावनचारी जयो राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जयो राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे गिरिधारी गोपाल जय गौरनिताय 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 जय गौरनिताय जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय गुरुदेव 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 निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शिष्यमत अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की संवेद गौर भक्तवृंद की निताय गौर प्रेमानंद all Gurus assembled devotees all Gurus assembled devotees all Gurus assembled devotees all Gurus all Gurus all Gurus to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 14, The Disappearance of Lord Krishna, text number 42. Kachitvam nagamo gamya Kachitvam nagamo gamya Gamyam vasat kritam striyam Gamyam vasat kritam striyam Parajito vata bhava Parajito vata bhava Notamairna samaipati Notamairna samaipati Kachitvam nagamo gamya Gamyam vasat kritam striyam Parajito vata bhava Notamairna samaipati Kachitvam nagamo gamya Gamyam vasat kritam striyam Parajito vata bhava Notamairna samaipati Kachittam nagamo gamya Gamyam vasat kritam striyam पराजितो वात भवान् नोत्तमैर्नाशमय पति कच्चित्त्वं नागमो गम्यां वा सत्कृतं स्त्रियां पराजितो वात भवान् नोत्तमैर्नाशमय पति गमो गम्यं वा सत्कृतं स्त्रियं पराजितो वात भवान् समय पति मतजिस कच्चित्त्वं नागमो गम्यां वा सत्कृतं स्त्रियं पराजितो वात भवान् नोत्तमैर्नाशमय पति कच्चित्त्वं नागमो गम्यां वा सत्कृतं स्त्रियं पराजितो वात भवान् Kachit, whether, tvam, yourself, na, not, agama, did contact, agamyam, impeachable, gamyam, acceptable, va, either, asatkritam, improperly treated, striyam, a woman, parajita, defeated by, va, either, ata, after all, bhavan, your good self, na, nor, uttamai, by superior power, na, not, asamai, by equals, pati, on the road. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Abhay Charnarvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki. Translation: have you contacted a woman of impeachable character, or have you not properly treated a deserving woman? Or have you been defeated on the way by someone who is inferior or equal to you? Purport: it appears from this verse that during the time of the Pandavas, free contact between man and woman was allowed in certain conditions only. The higher caste men, namely the Brahmanas and Kshatriyas, could accept a woman of the Vaishya or the Shudra community, but a man from the lower caste could not contact a woman of the higher caste. Even a Kshatriya could not contact a woman of the Brahmana caste. The wife of a Brahmana is considered one of the 7 mothers, namely one's own mother, the wife of the spiritual master or teacher, the wife of the Brahmana, the wife of a king, the cow, the nurse, and the earth. Such contact between man and woman was known as Uttama and Adhama. Contact of a Brahmana with a Kshatriya woman is Uttama, but the contact of a Kshatriya with a Brahmana woman is Adhama, therefore condemned. A woman approaching a man for contact should never be refused, but at the same time the discretion as above mentioned may also be considered. Bhima was approached by Hidimbi from a community lower than the Shudras, and Yayati refused to marry the daughter of Shukracharya because of Shukracharya's being a Brahmana. Vyasadeva, a Brahmana, was called to beget Pandu and Dhritarashtra. Satyavati belonged to a family of fishermen, but Parashara, a great Brahmana, begot in her Vyasadeva. So there are many examples of contacts with women, but in all cases the contacts were not abominable, nor were the results of such contacts bad. Contact between man and woman is natural, but that also must be carried out under the regulatory principles so that social, social consecration may not be disturbed or unwanted worthless population be increased for the unrest of the world. It is abominable for a Kshatriya to be defeated by one who is inferior in strength or equal in strength. If one is defeated at all, he should be defeated by some superior power. Arjuna was defeated by Bhishma Dev, and Lord Krishna saved him from the danger. This was not an insult for Arjuna, because Bhishma Dev was far superior to Arjuna in all ways, namely age, respect and strength. But Karna was equal to Arjuna, and therefore Arjuna was in a crisis when fighting with Karna. It was felt by Arjuna, and therefore Karna was killed, even by crooked means. Such are the engagements of the Kshatriyas, and Maharaj Yudhishthir inquired from his brother whether anything undesirable happened on the way home from Dwaraka. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Chalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dalati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhano Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Sindhubhya evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swame Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadhi Pashyatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Kachitvam nagamo gamyam vasat kritam striyam parajito vata bhavan nottamair nasamay pati. Have you contacted a woman of impeachable character, nor have you not properly treated a deserving woman? Or have you been defeated on the way by someone who is inferior or equal to you? Hare Krishna. Welcome all the devotees for today morning's Srimad Bhagavatam class. especially this is, I guess, the first class after Kartik Sunday. We had a very blissful Kartik month, and just like Arjuna is feeling the separation of Krishna, we are all feeling the separation of Lord Damodar and Damodar Ashtakam. But this month is the prelude to the Gita Jayanti month. The Bhagavad Gita will be spoken in this Margashirsha month, and we are all awaiting again a festival of distributing Srila Prabhupada's books, especially the Bhagavad Gita. So this particular chapter in the first canto of the Bhagavatam is a very in one sense sad episode of the Lord disappearing from the world is being described here, and not exactly how the Lord disappeared, but what was the effect of the Lord's disappearance. Because before this, Yudhishthira Maharaj, he starts to see that suddenly the whole world, there's so many bad omens that start to happen, and the regularity of the events that were happening, people started to lose their interest in dharma. The quarrels, the family quarrels started to increase, and the brahmanas were no more interested to do their rituals, and all the omens that he was seeing in the universe. This is called as, Shakuna Shastra. That from the omens you can make out what's going to happen, because it's like the dawn before the event happens, that is, before the sun rises, the sun's rays start to appear. And just from that little light you can make out that the sunrise is going to happen. The same way Maharaj Yudhishthira, seeing all the different omens, he is kind of that something very inauspicious has happened. And more so, the chapter before this, he is already lamenting the separation from his father, from his uncle, the Dhritarashtra. The chapter before this is entitled as Dhritarashtra Quits Home. And Narada Muni, he comes and gives solace to Yudhishthira that do not be worried, that he is on his path back to Godhead. He has gone along with Vidura to the Himalayas, and there he is practicing austerities, and he gives exact timeline when he is going to, from the 5th day from today, he is going to self-immolate his body. There was no need to burn his body. Like the fire will be generated from within, the yogic fire, and he will self-immolate himself. And so as soon as he starts to hear that Dhritarashtra is going back from this world, he also, Narada Muni, he also gives a hint that even Krishna, his purpose in this world is now over. Now he is also winding up. So hearing this, but specifically Narada Muni tells Yudhishthira Maharaj that please do not quit till Lord Krishna disappears. And so therefore he was, again, if somebody gives you this news that don't quit till that person leaves, so that means that person is going to leave. Wait till I come. So that means you're going to come. So Yudhishthira Maharaj, the moment he hears this kind of news, he becomes very anxious that, oh, even Krishna is going to leave now. So he immediately sends Arjuna to go and inquire how are the Yadavas. And Arjuna goes, and it's almost 7 months. And 7 months is a long time to go and come. Nowadays, nobody spends so much time anywhere. We are not given that much, leaves anyway. But Kshatriyas or the people back then, if they used to go somewhere, they used to spend at least a week, a month, based on the closeness of the relationship. But 7 months was unexpected. So therefore, Yudhishthir was even more anxious that what happened, that I sent him with a seva, and seems that the sevak is disappeared. Sometimes this happens in our services that we tell someone to go and get something and he is not to be found. So Yudhishthir, he is of course not doubting the intentions of Arjuna, but how can something must have happened very significant that he is not coming. And then finally when he comes, Arjuna, when he comes, he sees Arjuna's face was totally morose. He was very, very down, very sad, and seeing his dejected demeanor, Yudhishthir becomes even more suspicious, that did that incident happen. But he didn't want to jump onto that. He didn't want to directly, kind of ask this question, because it was a very heavy question. Like this, a boy is in love with a girl, or a girl is in love with a boy, and they want to tell the most famous 3 lines, I love you. And but he is not able to tell that because of the heaviness of the response. If the response is not proper, then he will be totally taken aback. So when the relationship is very strong and you have to ask a question like this, did Lord Krishna leave? It was even more intense than a boy or a girl who is in love, and he cannot gather his courage to ask that question of his life. And therefore he is kind of apparently beating around the bush, asking different questions, but in another sense he is very sensitive that there may be other things that might have happened. And let me go through the series that why someone can be sad. There may be many reasons, and therefore he starts to ask different questions to Arjun, that what is the cause of losing your brilliance, that why is your face lost its luster, that there is no more any luster on your face. And so he starts to ask a series of questions, and these are also very pertinent to us, because sadness is an emotion that we all experience day in and day out. Anybody here that has not been sad in their life? No one. Something or other in our life doesn't turn up, and then we are sad. And we are also sad when something turns up that we don't want. That someone comes whom you don't want to kind of have time for. Then you're sad that why did this seva come, why did this thing come. I'm about to take prasad and somebody calls you, Prabhu, can you please do this seva? So you're kind of caught. And so when things happen that you don't want, or when things don't happen that which you want, both give rise to sadness. And in this world, we are all anticipating and having a desire or fear for either getting some object, that some object is wanted that we want, we are hankering for, and because we are not getting that object, we are sad. Or like 2 days back, entire India was sad. There was a matam in entire India because there was an object that was wanted, the cup, and somehow the team didn't perform well, and entire India was in a morose situation. The disappearance of the World Cup once again. So, so when we don't get some object that we are hankering for, then we are sad. Or we don't get a person. We wanting some person in our life, and that person is not agreeing. That also leads to sadness. Or a position that we want in the company, or say in our career, in our home, that currently we are maybe in a studio, or in a one-room kitchen. A studio means where kitchen, bathroom, bedroom, everything is in one room, that's called as a studio. So whether we are in a studio or in a one-room kitchen, and we want to change our situation, position to a better situation, and we are hankering, and in this way we are constantly having some or other sadness, which because of all these different aspects. So Yudhishthir, he starts to ask that, is your health all right? The first reason why somebody may become sad is where their health doesn't support. Health and happiness, they are very connected. If you are happy, then your health you'll be able to quickly recover from any ailment. And if you are not happy, then some or other ailment generally comes because of the sadness. The entire body's immune system is low. So therefore Arjuna is asking, Yudhishthira is asking that, is your health already? Is it because you are of weak health that you are sad? And this is a very common symptom, that's especially a prolonged sickness that doesn't allow us to do our jobs or do our service. Usually and make someone sad. Here in Radha Gopinath Mandir, Maharaj had made a special place for the brahmacharis called as Sevasthan. That when you are sick, and so you can be taken care, because that is a very fragile situation. Sometimes when the sickness is prolonged, you start to think that nobody is there to take care of me, and I'm not able to do well. But when you get that warmth, that support, that when you are sick, then that even if you are not sick, just knowing that there is a place like that, I can go all out to serve Krishna. And even if I fall sick, like in a company, if the boss is sacking employees because of low performance or low profits, whatever it is, whoever is remaining, they all become very fearful. ये पता नहीं अपना कभी pink slip मिल जाएगा. I don't know when we are going to get pink slip that. And so health is the first question that Yudhishthira asked Arjuna. That was your health gone down because of that which you are dejected. Then he asks, is it because of somebody disrespected you? That everything is well and fine, but you went to some place where you are not wanted, where you are not loved. And usually we can sense when you go to some party, some marriage, some occasion, some family, and immediately you can make out whether the people there want you or not, based on their facial expressions or how they deal with you. मुंह उधर कर लेते. So then in those places you don't want to stay long, because and there are some places where the moment you go, you feel a warmth, you feel so loved, you feel so wanted. And so many of us, we feel that vibe when we come to the temple. The moment we enter into Radha Gopinath Mandir, as long back, Sri Rama Saka was telling this, that sometimes for him to go to his home from the gate takes half an hour, but for him to reach the gate sometimes may take 1 hour from here to the gate, because so many devotees are meeting you. There is such traffic jam here that so many devotees, after a long time we meet and we are talking to each other. However, so sometimes going to the gate takes more time than going to our homes. And such a place, you like to be in such traffic jams, because you are so much treated well. So Arjuna is being asked that, were you disrespected? And disrespect hits much harder than even sickness. That sickness is a bodily situation, you can somehow overcome it. But somebody insults you, कि अपना देखा है क्या फेस आईने में, चले आए मेरे पास मेरे साथ रिश्ता बनाने के लिए, or something like that. So you are in a place and you are said that you are just coming to eat. Like one place, one of our devotees, brahmacharis, we had gone for prasad, and that Mataji was South Indian, but this brahmachari was Hindi, so she was not able to speak. So as she was serving prasad, so she said that खाइए खाइए शर्म तो नहीं है. So सोचिए अगर कोई आपको परोस रहा है, somebody is serving you and somebody says खाओ खाओ शर्म तो है ही नहीं, will you be able to eat? You can't eat. So this person was taken aback. ये माताजी क्या बोल रही है? And then somebody corrected, अरे she doesn't know Hindi, she is saying शर्माओ मत, खाइए खाइए शर्माओ मत. But because of slip of the tongue, not knowing the language properly, she said, of course it became now later a reason to laugh, but if it was intentional, if it actually meant that, then you feel very sad. So Arjuna being asked that, was it because of somebody disrespected you? And he also says, maybe because of your prolonged stay. कभी कभी होता है that every relationship, every situation demands a certain amount of time and energy that that person can give. But if you take advantage of that, अरे this ये घर में जब भी जाता हूँ full plate प्रसाद मिलता है, so you keep on going there. So then, you know, once the person, one time, two time, few times, they may, you know, honor you well. But later, if you prolong stay, Prabhupada tells this story that during Diwali, once all the son-in-laws had visited their father-in-law's home. And you know, the only place where, you know, a man may be treated very well is in their in-laws' house, at least supposed to be. Once one of our devotees had gone to Punjab. He was married to a Punjabi lady, girl. And when the moment he got out of the station, there was a horse waiting, full chariot style horse, and he was, you know, पूर बैंड बाजा के साथ उनको, you know, welcome किया. He was saying, प्रभु जी मुझे ऐसा लग रहा था मैं राजा बन गया. And so they were being treated very well in the in-laws' place. And after a while they thought कि ठीक है वेकेशन तो हो गया बट इतना अच्छा हॉलीडे इन मिल रहा है, why to go back to our professions. So they continued to stay. And then father-in-law also, how long can he keep serving? He also has his other aspects. So he started to reduce the number of items in the menu. And so one son-in-law understood, item कम हो गया मतलब अभी signal मिल गया. Then another son-in-law, he left after few items. Finally only dal chawal was being served. But still one son-in-law said, दाल चावल से भी चलता है जीवन, क्या प्रॉब्लम है? And then one day finally this father-in-law had to put a blanket on the son-in-law as he was sleeping and thrash him with a stick to make him understand that you can't, take advantage. And so everyone has a space, has an energy and if you don't understand that and you just keep on dragging, then either they'll directly disrespect you or the respect will not be there. So Yudhishthira is asking specifically, is it because you have a long stay you are disrespected in Dwarka? And then third question that he asks is that, is it because you didn't give charity, you didn't share what you have, or you gave charity to a wrong person and he misused that? So often we give something to someone and then that person, he misuses it. So you feel sad, अरे बेकार में इसको दिया. Sometimes it happens that, traffic signals, we give them prasad, but they don't want prasad, they want 10 rupees. And we're not sure whether they'll use it properly or not. But therefore, we try to usually give prasad. Or you didn't give charity, especially as a kshatriya, as a grahastha. Is it because you didn't share what you had? And there was this research done in the West that happiness and generosity, are they connected? The person being happy and the person being generous, being charitable, are they connected? And they did a lot of research and they found out that they are indeed connected. Those who are generous in their lifestyle, in their nature, are usually happy. And those who are cringy, and not just happy, those who are generous, but those who are generous are also quite successful. And they found out that, okay, happiness you can understand that, because they are very generous, they are experiencing that the joy of sharing. But they are also successful because they are going one step extra to help the other person. That the boss, the work timing is till say 5 p.m. And one who is cringy, 4:30 को ही चालू हो जाता है उसका वाइंडिंग अप, और समटाइम्स इवन अर्ली, डिपेंडिंग ऑन नो which if it's a government institution or a private institution. But those who are generous, they see what is the need of the hour, and they are willing to stay a little longer if the need is there. Of course, many times the visiting, the entry time is fixed in companies, not the exit time. पहले 9 to 5 जॉब रहता था, अभी 5 to 9 जॉब हो गया. Especially in Bombay, you have to leave very early and then reach very late. So, so they found out that in this research that those who are generous, they are also generous with their time. They are willing to spend time with a individual with whom they don't have to get anything. Usually we want to spend time with someone, इससे मुझे कुछ मतलब है, then we spend time. But if that person needs our time, and if that nature of generosity is not there, then then you only look at मेरा तो time waste हो रहा है इधर. We are not looking at does this person need me. So therefore, those who are generous, they found out that 3 things happen to them. They are happy because they are giving joy to someone else. They are successful because they are willing to go that extra yard, and the trust comes that ये व्यक्ति रहेगा, अगर ज़रूरत है then they give them more responsibility. And third thing is that the person has a very strong friendship with others because he is there for others. And therefore, as a leader, Kshatriya, as a Grihastha, this was expected of Arjuna, that if there was a need for someone had, and if you don't fulfill that need, then the effect of that is that your happiness will go down. And in a lot of these cases of depression, mental health issues, one of the major reason is found to be self-obsession. That you are so much obsessed with your own growth, with your own satisfaction, sense gratification, and that self-obsession, because once you make the center of that you as the center, then you start to judge everyone around you that they are not helping me, they are not loving me, they are not giving me. That you are evaluating everyone by how they are giving you. And love is something, affection is something that first has to be given. That in giving you receive. Srila Prabhupada, Tamal Krishna Maharaj, he once asked Srila Prabhupada that, Prabhupada, that there are so many people that are coming to you, and it seems that almost everyone that comes to you loves you so much. इतना प्रेम से आपके पास आ रहे हैं, and they are talking to you. It seems that everyone loves you. And then Prabhupada replied, yes, because I love everyone. And because the affection that is there, and then the person can sense that here is a person that is willing to go that extra mile. And when we don't do that, when we are self-obsessed, then that often leads to sadness, depression. Therefore, in the West, most of the colleges have accredited मतलब उसका marks रहता है, called as community service. That along with your studies, as you are wanting to learn and grow, some hours in a week you should go and either teach someone or go and help someone who is needy. And it's called as community service. I don't know if it's now in India, but in the West it's, and many ISKCON temples get benefited by that. Because students come over and there is lot of pots to be washed in the kitchen, in the sink, or vegetables to be cut. And then the students come and say, can we do some community service? Because they need the marks. Of course, behind that is also again maybe self-obsession कि हमको marks चाहिए. But at least they are going out and helping. Even in IIT, studying, there was this particular group called as Manthan, where you go and help out some needy kids with their education. So that charity aspect is a very important aspect in well-being, and therefore here in Parikshit, Yudhishthir Maharaj is asking, is it because you are not charitable? You didn't help someone, or you helped in a wrong way? You helped, but that created in more trouble for them. And the fourth question that Yudhishthir asks is that, did you break a promise? किसी को वादा दिया और निभाया नहीं है. That now you said that you will help this person, or that you will come to this particular place to be there for the occasion or some promise, and then you didn't live up to the promise. And we know in India, it is, especially with timing, we are all very at the class is announced at 7 and everybody turns up at 9 in our congregation programs. Indian stretchable time, IST. So did you break a promise that if you give a word and when you live by that word, then that gives you a sense of self-respect, self-dignity. And this also happens with something simple like, putting our alarm. That we put our alarm कि मैं 4 बजे उठूंगा. That 4 p.m. I will rise. And then we break our own promise. That when it rings, the alarm rings, then you snooze. And snooze करने के बाद जो नींद है, बहुत मीठा नींद है वो. उसे डायबिटीज भी हो सकता है, इतना मीठा रहता है वो. That without snoozing if you get up, उसमें क्या सुख है. So sometimes intentionally people put just before, ताकि तो snooze करके थोड़ा और 15 मिनट सो सकूं मैं. But what it is doing is you are breaking your own promise. We are devaluing our own plans. So then our self-worth, that our self-talk is that you're not, first thing in the morning is you're breaking your own promise. So, did you break someone's promise that you promised? And Arjuna, as we see in his life, that he was very quick to promise. That जैसे ही किसी का need देखता था, he used to there that I'll protect you, and if I don't protect you, then I will end my life. It happened in Dwarka that there was a Brahmana whose sons were dying, and mysteriously they don't know where the sons were going, but they were disappearing after birth. And the Brahmana came and started to accuse the Yadavas that, what is this? If the son is living before the father, then that means dharma is not proper, and because you are the protector of dharma as a king, so the Ugrasena and all the Yadavas are reason for this. And when he was accusing, then Arjuna immediately said, why are you accusing? I will protect. And it comes in the Bhagavatam that Arjuna gives a promise that if I can't protect you, then I will enter into fire. And then again he makes a huge umbrella of arrows so that no evil entity can enter to take away. But still, when the child was born, the child disappeared. And the Brahmana started to cry, and Arjuna, he started to put the fire, and he wanted to enter. Then Krishna interfered, said, no, let's go and find. And then Krishna travels with Arjuna to the first place was the Yamalok. That are they there? They were not found there. Then he goes to different planetary systems, interplanetary travel, that is explained. And right on the chariot, these chariots had such potencies that they could fly. And he goes till the Brahmaloka. And even in Brahmaloka he was not found. That's like the end of the world, end of universe. But Krishna, he takes him beyond the universe. and to Mahavishnu. And there, with Mahavishnu, he sees these children. And then he tells that I did this entire pastime, Leela, just so that I can have the darshan of two-handed form of Krishna. Showing the rarity of seeing this beautiful form of Gopinath, seeing the form of Dwarkadish, of two-handed form, that even Mahavishnu had to do such a entire Leela to take darshan of Krishna. So like this, there are even some more episodes where Arjuna was made a promise and then Krishna came to protect. Therefore, even in the Gita, Krishna says this, that Kaunteya pratijanihi name bhakta pranashyati. Oh Arjuna, you declare, you make this statement that my devotees will never perish, because when you make a promise, when you make a statement, then it is my duty, my vow to live by that, to make that statement true. I may break my promise, like in Vrindavan. Krishna was also telling lies many times. That, did you eat butter? Open your mouth. Krishna says, no, mama, I didn't eat butter. I didn't eat mud. I didn't steal butter. And so, breaking the promise is the fourth reason why someone may be dejected. And these are all subtle codes of misconduct, subtle code aspects of conduct, and we may trip in that. Then fifth reason, which some of them are overlap, did you fail in protection? Somebody came to seek your shelter and then you couldn't protect them. And this was the yesterday's verse. There are 7 categories who needs to be protected. Out of them, 5 or more. Brahmanas, the teachers, they need protection. They need proper security. Most people don't want to be now teachers or in that education field because there's not much protection there, not much earning there. Balam, children needs to be protected, especially physically and also emotionally. They need to be given proper samskaras. Then cows need protection. Then Vriddha means old people, they need protection. They should not feel unloved or devalued because now that they are not working. And Roginam, those who are sick, those who are diseased. And Striyam, the women, they need protection, they need to be finding security, shelter. And then he generalizes, or anyone in general who comes to seek your shelter. Sharanopashishtam Satum, any living entity that comes to take your shelter. Is it that you didn't give them protection? You failed in protecting them. And then comes sixth reason, which is today, that did you not treat a deserving lady properly? That in the culture then was of Varnashram culture, and Kshatriyas, they were supposed to give protection to whomever seeks shelter. And if a lady comes to marry or to have a relationship with a Kshatriya, then the Kshatriya is supposed to give such lady shelter. And therefore here in Yudhishthira is asking that, did someone come and you didn't give them shelter, you didn't offer them that need that they have, or you offered to in a wrong way? And Prabhupada elaborately explains. There are two paragraphs in this purport. One focuses on the first 2 lines, that you contacted a woman of impeachable character, or you didn't treat a deserving woman well. And second is about being defeated by someone. You got defeated by someone who deserved to be, who was inferior to you, but somehow you got defeated. And that also leads to sadness. when you face defeat. And Prabhupada, he mentions that in the relationship between man and woman, there is the consideration of that the whole purpose for coming together of a man and woman is for the progeny, the children that come should be of a higher samskar, of a higher character. Else, if a child comes that is of wrong character, then he is going to do more damage to the society. So therefore, the whole consideration was that how can we interact with each other, especially in terms of procreation, so that the next generation is of a much better standard of health and also a mind, that they are born with a better capacity. And this unfortunately nowadays is seen as just caste system, where one caste cannot marry into another caste, and there is lot of questions coming up about intercaste marriage, that what is ISKCON's opinion about intercaste marriage, and many things. But the whole purpose was of that that the generation that comes should be of a better, just like there is a company that produces, say, laptop. Now the next version that they produce, the laptop, should it be a better version or should it be a more degraded version? Better version. Of course, sometimes it happens with technology. कभी-कभी लगता था कि पहले वाला मॉडल ही बेटर था. That now they come up with all these new aspects, and it is poor battery or this or that. Usually in any product line, you always expect that the next product should be of a better standard in terms of resilience, in terms of performance. Same with human beings, when they come together, that the next generation should be of a better capacity. And this was in one ways a kind of genetic engineering, that how different entities can interact with each other so that the output is of a much better product, substance. Nowadays, technologically people try to do this through the genetic engineering, that they try to take the best aspects of a gene and they try to combine with another gene. Like the story is often told that once a very famous Hollywood actress had come to Albert Einstein and she said, "Why don't we marry? Because I am so beautiful and you are so intelligent. Our children will have both these traits. Both the genes will mix and they will be intelligent and beautiful. A very rare combination." And then Einstein was intelligent. He said, "What if it happens the other way? What if the outcome is that they are neither beautiful or they are intelligent like you and beautiful like me? What if it happens the other way?" In China, one man had filed a divorce case after his wife delivered a child, saying that my wife cheated on me, that this is not my child. So how can you say this is not your child? Say, it doesn't look like me. So it can look like her. ऐसा होता है ना? But no, he doesn't look like her also. मेरे जैसा नहीं दिखता, उसके जैसा नहीं दिखता. इसके लिए ये मेरा बेटा नहीं है. Therefore I am filing a case for divorce. And that lady was pleading that no, she is your child, he is our child only. And then finally she had to reveal the secret. He said, the only mistake that I did was that I did plastic surgery and didn't tell you. Because before that plastic surgery, I was not so as I look now. and therefore I underwent this plastic surgery. But what that plastic surgery did was to the face, not to the genes. But the child comes because of the interaction of the chromosomes or the genes. So then he was pacified, oh, it is because of that aspect. So, wrong combination of varnas or colors may give rise to a population that it is more destructive, more disturbed. And Arjuna was also very much concerned about this in the Gita. And he says, Varna jayate, Varna sankara jayate. That if the women are not protected and the Varnashram system doesn't go well, then the children that will come, they will not know what is their psychophysical nature. They'll be very confused. Sankara means a confused lot. Because in the Vedas, there is the intellectual class, unka dharma kya hai, unka what kind of lifestyle they need to be there, kshatriya, all these are given. But there is when there is no proper planning and everything is mixed up, then like in today's generation, we don't know what is our, am I a kshatriya or am I a brahmana, am I a shudra or a vaishya, and practically we don't have any of these characters fully. थोड़ा सा किसी में थोड़ा prominent रहता है, and sometimes it takes some years of practicing Krishna consciousness where we start to understand that what is my nature, where I feel most satisfied or happy. Job satisfaction is a big term that people don't feel satisfied in their job, they want to keep jumping. Because the trait was not clear. And therefore here in, so the way of genetic upgradation in the Vedas was that, a Brahmana boy can marry a Kshatriya or a Brahmana, so that the generations go up. But if a Kshatriya marries a Brahmana lady, then the generation comes down. So that's called as Anulom and Pratilom. Anulom is going up and Pratilom is going down. And Prabhupada herein gives examples and of how different marriages that happened in the Vedic time, like Bhima marrying Hidimbi. Bhima was a Kshatriya and Hidimbi was a Rakshasi. So therefore that marriage was acceptable because it was elevating. And but in today's day and age, especially who is of a Brahmanical nature, Kshatriya nature, all this discussion, we should understand this, but to implement this will take a yuga like Satyuga where all the traits are very clear for us to do. So here he is in asking this, that did you misconduct with some lady? And Acharya also gives that, is it that you neglected your wife Subhadra and you went to some other lady whom you are not supposed to go? Did you approach some other's wife and you neglected your own wife, because of which there is sadness, because you broke the principles and therefore you are sad. And then of course in coming verses, then he further asks, did you get defeated by someone? Did you not share your meals with someone? Did you commit some blunder? And then finally Yudhishthir gathers up courage, musters his courage to ask this most heaviest question for him, that did Krishna leave? And the coming episodes is that, I don't want to know, as I say, spoiler alert, that you don't want to spoil what's going to come, but you can read this, that how heavy it was for Krishna, for Pandavas to let go Krishna. Because Krishna did so much in their lives. And Krishna had such a special relationship with them. And losing that was not just an awareness or intellectual thing. It was a very heartbreaking thing. Now, we see this, that, usually when in villages previously, when someone used to pass away, almost the entire village used to mourn because there was such relationship. Now, if someone passes, especially in cities, sometimes even family members can't cry because they have not invested in each other the relationship. The relationships will become like, nowadays they say, families have become like solar system. Everyone is in its own orbit and sometimes there is an eclipse. बीच बीच में कभी वो अंदर आ रहा है और आप बाहर जा रहे हैं तो हाय हेलो हो जाता है. We don't eat together, we don't spend time together. So then how can that relationship feel substance? So therefore, when now all the relationships that we experience, they are very superficial. But in those days, and especially what the Pandavas are experiencing with Krishna, is that relationship was so sacred, so important for them. And this emotion, bhakti is a lot about the bhava that we have for the Lord. It is also buddhi, buddha, bhava samanvita. That we have that awareness that how much the Lord is doing, but that awareness turns into affection. If the awareness of the Lord's help doesn't turn into affection, then we have not really progressed. And else, we like when we are with Krishna, when we are in Radha Gopinath Mandir, we like this. And then when we are in Maratha Mandir, we also like that. जहाँ जाए वहाँ का रंग पकड़ लेते. But not like that. That we really miss Krishna. And the speciality is that Krishna has this uncanny ability, a unique ability to make everyone feel special that he deals with. In Vrindavan, when Krishna used to go herding the cows, sometimes to some parts of Vrindavan forest, he used to not visit for months together. Because there are so many forests, Bahulavan, Khadiravan, Belvan, Mahavan, so many one. So Krishna used to plan, आज यहाँ जाएंगे, आज वहाँ जाएंगे. And but when he used to go there, the way Krishna used to deal with the trees. Now how can we have a affectionate relationship with a tree? But Krishna, when the impact that he used to leave with the trees was so special that for years together these trees were standing, waiting in separation from Krishna, that Krishna will come again. And therefore, when we do Aarti in one understanding is how Krishna is welcomed into the forest, the tree by the trees. The trees, as Krishna starts to come, they start to blossom and leave fragrance, so that Krishna feels welcome to come there. अगर कोई जगह है जहाँ पे it's smelly, you don't want to go there. So it said Madhava that wherever Krishna goes, the trees are so joyous that they spread fragrance. That's what is the dhupa. And then deepa. And then the flowers, they become so bright as if they are like fire. And they are, swinging, welcoming the Lord. So like this, beautiful description is given in the Bhagavatam, that the Aarti that we do is actually the trees welcoming Krishna back after long separation. So therefore, this is the tree and these are the branches with which we offer the Aarti or welcome the Lord. So Krishna has this uncanny ability to make everyone feel special. And this is what is love. That those whom you love, those whom you feel loved, is that you feel that this person treats you very specially. That usually a boy and a girl. That why does the girl fall for a boy? Because और कोई उसको देख नहीं रहा है, but that boy is doing परिक्रमा after परिक्रमा. घर का परिक्रमा कर रहा है, कॉलेज का परिक्रमा कर रहा है, and he is like, for him it seems that you are the most unique ऐसा कोई चेहरा देखा नहीं है, ऐसा कोई व्यक्ति नहीं है. And that person feels that मैं तो ordinary हूँ बाकी सबके लिए, but for this boy I am special. Once one devotee was telling that, Prabhuji, when I go home, usually, घर पे ना, everyone is like not so excited when I go home. But the only person who is excited, no matter how many times in a day I go home, is my dog. No matter how many times I go home, the dog is as excited as if it has not seen me. So therefore I feel that ये केवल यही है जो मुझे प्रेम करता है. Because that dog somehow, no, maybe मेरे को खाना खिलाएगा, or it will take me out, nobody is taking me out, maybe some emotion. But so what is love? Where you are felt special, you are made feel special. Whether you are special or not is another thing. But Krishna has this most amazing capacity that and it's not that he makes you feel special, but he feels that you are special, because he has created each one of us in a very special way. Like a parent. For a parent, every child, Shri Radha Gopinath ki. For a parent, every child is special. Like if I ask that out of your 2 children, whom do you love the most? That's a very offensive question to ask a mother. Of course, maybe after a while, especially when they are small, now both have different characteristics, things that they like or don't like. But the love element stays because that speciality is felt. And not just with the Pandavas, with every devotee that connects to Krishna, that relates with Krishna, Krishna's pastimes. They all feel this special relationship, and therefore they miss that. And for us to know, again go back to Godhead, we need to revive our awareness, and that's what Arjuna does, that after he is so morose, dejected, he starts to count his blessings, that how much affection Krishna gave, how much protection he gave, and he also recount the Lord's teachings, that the Lord is not someone ordinary, that अरे इसके पास time है इसके लिए. No, he need not spend time with you, he has no need to be with you. Still, he has come as Shri Radha Gopinath to give time to us, to spend time with us. So when we understand the Lord's special nature, special position, and how he doesn't need to be there, but still he is there. I remember long back, one of my first Vrindavan Yatras, 2000 or 2001, we were doing Govardhan Parikrama. And when I was doing Govardhan Parikrama, those times thorns used to be there. Nowadays thorns are all gone from Vrindavan. So thorn prick me first time, and I was in pain, standing there trying to remove the thorn, and अब कुछ support नहीं है, to stand on one leg and to remove the thorn is very difficult. And everyone was rushing ahead because Maharaj was in front and everybody wanted to be with Maharaj. And even I wanted to be, but the thorn has stuck, I need to. And then one person stopped. One person stopped to help me remove the thorn. Although he was also running, he also stopped and to remove the thorn. And when I saw who stopped for me, just a neophyte student who has come, who stopped for me, I can never forget that. It was Krishna Chandra Prabhu. He stopped to remove thorn from a new student, new devotee. And then, I was not special, but I was, that made feel important, that you are also important, let me help you. And then, of course, you may not remember, but I remember that. So Krishna makes you feel special, and he misses that. Krishna misses each one of our dealing with him, and therefore, like here, the Yudhishthir Pandavas are feeling that separation, remembering how much love Krishna gave. And we also experience, Krishna need not deal with us directly. So many of the episodes that Pandavas relate are those episodes where Krishna was not there personally, like the episode where the Pandavas were fed, Bhima was fed the poison cake. Krishna didn't come directly. Or when Arjuna was fighting with the Nivata Kavachas, or so many different episodes, Krishna was not there directly. But the devotees, they felt direct presence and help of Krishna. So our coming to Krishna consciousness, our practicing day in and day out, that gratitude, that it is only because Krishna is supporting through devotees, through the mission that Srila Prabhupada has come and started this, that we are able to practice, we are able to know, be here. So therefore our appreciation for the Lord should increase, and apart from that, the speciality of the Lord's position and how he has arranged this universe and how can we get out. So Arjuna remembered that this verse comes with Vasudevangri anudhyana paribhrimita ramasa bhaktya nirmatita ashesha kashaya dishano Arjuna. That Krishna started to remember the lotus feet of Vasudev, and he also started to remember those teachings that he gave when he was confused in the... So whether Bhagavad Gita, Krishna directly speaks to us, or whether we remember the teachings of the Gita in the proper way and understand how much Krishna loves us and what is Krishna's position, the same impact will be there. Prabhupada used to always say that Krishna helped Arjuna directly, and also later just by remembering the teachings of the Gita. So we may not have direct presence of Krishna, but the teachings and the Bhagavatam is there, which is not different from Krishna. And if we relate, then our causes of dejection, which are 10 in number, some of them we may not be able to overcome. But this is definitely in our hands, that how much in our beadbacks, that how much do we re-establish that lost connection with Krishna. So stop here. Please excuse me if there was anything improper that was spoken, but if there was something that was helpful to connect, to make our relationship strong with Krishna, please accept it as a humble service. Srila Prabhupada ki, Srimad Bhagavatam ki. We will not take any questions because there is a Adruta dance performance now at 10:30. So devotees can go down, take prasad and come back up for this wonderful Krishna's pastimes being enacted by this Odissi group. Hare Krishna.